All right. So, welcome everybody to this episode of A Dose of Animation. This is going to be episode 5. And what? Really? You're
What?
clapping like you're clapping as if I'm watching like the first episode. There's no celebration yet. That was supposed to be the first episode. And now you're
I
clapping.
can't clap?
You,
No, no,
you're
man.
literally doing an Internet Explorer on me.
I'm being your audience.
But yes. So as you know, this podcast we talk about a wide variety of things ranging from, well, obviously it's animation, but we talk about a lot of things, whether it's animators, animation studios, just the general animation industry itself. And sometimes I talk uh just me alone, and then sometimes I bring other people. And so for this episode, I am bringing my brother onto the show, a good special guest of mine. For those who don't know, he also runs a Twitch channel where he streams. He's a variety streamer. And where can the people find you, by the way?
You can find me on Twitch dot TV/KuroFox4. You can also follow me on Twitter. I changed it recently. It is now Kuro Rokubi. So it's like KURO and then
Wait,
RO.
say that. Repeat that.
Oh,
Repeat that
Kuro.
part again.
So you can also follow me on Twitter where I make my updates and I also update you guys that I'm live right now. It is Kuro Rokubi. KURO space ROKUBI. And I also have a YouTube channel, but it's not really I haven't really uploaded anything right there, but there have been some past few videos there as well. So it's just KuroFox4. You can just find me and find those videos there.
Yep. Cool Fox. All right. So for this episode, there was this piece of science fiction that I've been meaning to watch lately, and really both of us, and we took the time over the past week to actually watch it. And so this movie is called Blame. Um, and it's derived from really old source material. I think it dates back to 1994. But they had
Yeah.
I think they had a previous series. You know more about it because you just kind of went on without me doing a lot of research, so you would know some stuff. I was doing some too, but
um
I didn't do much. But it's the manga was made in around the 90s, 94, I think. And then they had like a series, I believe, that was much older, somewhere in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. And then now
yeah.
they have the Netflix original Blame movie, which was really awesome. And it was my first entry into the Blame series or the Blame franchise in general. So I liked it a lot. Um, One thing I want to talk about first, because I kind of always, whenever I watch something that's animated, I always wonder who's the people behind it and who creates it. And I believe this one's by Polygon, Polygon Pictures, I believe. I'm actually gonna check
Yeah,
that out real
Polygon
quick.
Pictures.
Yeah, and
It's
I'm
very
not too familiar with
interesting.
their other stuff. Yeah.
I am familiar with their stuff as well. Well, I am.
Mhm.
I mean another, which is also pretty interesting to know about because as I did research, I come to find out that one of Polygon's earlier works as well, which is called Knights of Sidonia, and Knights of Sidonia, which is very strange because I looked at some. All right, well, first of all, let me go ahead and say this. The Blame series is very complicated in a way. In most cases,
Mhm.
the original manga itself, there really isn't that much talking. It's basically for the audience to actually, you know, make their own interpretations of what's going on here and how they're doing that. There's not as much talking in the actual manga series. And not only that, but they had many other variations of manga series of alternate versions or sequels that were very interesting in a way. And one thing that caught my eye was basically Knights of Sidonia is basically an alternate version, like its alternative version take of Blame, which is really interesting to see that Polygon actually did Knights of Sidonia first before doing Blame.
Mhm. Yeah. And one of the things that I always knew about Polygon, though I never really looked into them too much. I knew of them, but they have a very special brand of 3D CG anime that I really love, particularly because of their effects that they use. Yeah, it gives everything a very cinematic look in the type of shots they use too,
Yeah, yes,
specific
of
action
course.
shots. Yeah, yeah, that's one thing that I was really mesmerized by when I was watching Blame. I wasn't surprised because I know what they're capable of, but I'm just blown away every time. And they even had some pretty cool scenes in Ajin too. Though I didn't watch Ajin, but I seen a
No,
lot
I
of
didn't
clips
watch Gotcha
through
as well.
YouTube, Twitter, and stuff.
Really
So
good.
I know that that's going into Blame. I already knew that the animation was going to be really top notch. But still, I was still blown away by a lot of the different things that was made in the movie. You know,
Another
what
another thing that I was pretty amazed by is the composing. You know, the soundtrack in
the
that movie
music.
was really fucking fantastic. Yes, really
It
really
was
good.
actually really good, and I wasn't actually. You know what? While you say that, I'm gonna actually look up the soundtrack so that I can actually download some of them because there's a lot. There's soundtracks on the movie that I was I really liked
One
that
that caught my eye the most is
well,
with the main character Killy. Whenever he just
uh,
we could say what we were talking about, right? This is just basically like our review about it, right? So
yeah, like you can say spoilers.
my favorite
I'll put
part,
spoilers in the
yeah,
title. I'll put
my
it in the
favorite
title.
part of that of one of my favorite songs and one of the most like really it's because every time it comes up it's funny, but I like it as well because it has a nice tick to it with Killy, and he has that fucking gun. Every time when he's about to use that gun, there's a specific soundtrack that happens all the time after he uses it. And it's just way too good and funny to hear at the same time.
I'm about to look for it right now. I'm about to look
But
for it right now because
it's like
I
a
actually
very
want to.
mesmerizing track
Well,
of
the
the series.
well, me personally, one of the songs that played throughout the movie. Let me just shut that off. Um, the soundtracks that played throughout the movie that were chill were the ones that I liked a lot. Very laid back and relaxed, especially when they were sitting down by the gas fire and they
Mm,
were just chilling out. Like I love those type of moments, especially even in very high science fiction movies where a lot of things seem to happen and a lot of action kind of breaks out. It's always nice to take that moment of relax and to just reminisce and think about stuff. And
mhm.
the soundtracks that they use in this movie, they really complement that very nicely, and it gives a lot to the emotional aspects of the show, especially with the things that was happening with Tai. Even though we didn't know much about her, we didn't know too much. I kind of wanted to know more, and
About Ty.
yeah, I mean,
Well,
well, yeah,
there was
because
nothing to
a lot of things went south. I mean, she's fucking turned into this Terminator shit, freaking
well, a lot of
Sanakan.
shit like was mostly talking about Killy and his sort of origin as well. More so like basically the main characters of that sort of the Blame series is basically Killy, Siebel, and Sanakan, which was the enemy that was in the wait, no, was it the enemy?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just say
Yes,
that
sorry, yeah, Sanakan, which
Sanakan was the
was
girl that was shooting shit up at the end.
yeah. Mhm. So um those are the main characters, and then you have the allies, which is basically Zuru, and that's what basically you saw in the anime Netflix adaptation, because that's the only characters that you'll see. There's a lots of other characters in the manga. There is
Mhm.
a lots of lore standpoint with Killy and the
Oh,
things
so
that
you
he.
read some of the manga,
I haven't read it. I just saw videos about it.
or you
I want to read it.
skim
I
through
want
it?
to yeah. I want to eventually get to the point where I actually fully invest myself in actually reading the whole Blame series, because there is a bunch to digest. And a bunch of different adaptations and different takes about Blame series. There's prequels to Blame and stuff like that. So oh yeah, the prequel to the actual main Blame series is what's it called? I had it in my head for a split second and now it's gone. Um
There's a prequel.
but yeah, it's a prequel to Blame, and it spoke about like what happened before everything went rampant with the robots.
But it wasn't animated, right?
No, it wasn't actually no, I don't know if it was animated. I might have to check that out too. But it is very interesting because this man's work in the series, this man's manga, like his the way his drawings are kind of are kind of meh at first, but
Mm.
most of his mangas and all
I like
that
how it looks
have
though.
really good details. They have
Shit looks
they're really good.
badass.
They're really good. But someone I remember watching a YouTube video and someone explained how there were times where he actually did so much detail on one certain thing and then kind of half-assed another detail because he was so focused on doing one other detail. But
Yeah.
other than that, like it like the detail in this manga is actually absolutely grotesque and really nice. And like I said, like there were other adaptations, mostly being the one that occurred really early on. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but there was a time where Blame
Sure.
actually had an anime series. Well, I don't want to say anime series. I think it's more like
Wasn't it like an OVA or
shorts.
something like that?
It was like an
Shorts OVA,
OVA, yeah,
somewhat.
where it had like a
Yeah.
very PlayStation graphics.
Oh
um,
yeah.
sure, people didn't like that sort of version. It kind of like did it Blaine like in a very bad manner, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah. No.
Um, Noise, by the way, the prequel to Blame is Noise.
Oh, okay. See, I never knew. I never saw the I never knew about any of the prequels or anything. Like I saw when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was just its own original thing. And then diving into it, I saw that there's a lot more source material stuff that I kind of do want to get into. But is it short? Is the source material like short? I heard that they never finished it.
The Noise?
Or no, Blame.
Blame. Okay, so yeah, I remember talking to you about this. So the Blame series. When I go to the Blame movie, let's say this. I'm currently on my anime list, and I'm currently looking at the original. Well, not original, but the Blame Netflix series. If I
Mm-hmm.
go to the adaptation, which is the one that they did before, so the how do I say this? The one that they adapted is not
Adapted.
adapted is not the original person's take. Nihei, which is the original art for like the manga artists for Blame.
Are you talking about the one that they adapted? Like the movie is not the original take of the artist or the
No.
author.
Well, no. Well,
Oh,
it's hard to explain. It's not done by the person who created Blame, but
oh,
but
the movie.
yes, the movie was done by another version, which is a manga that kind of did a different take, but it's very similar. It doesn't stray too far of Killian and everything else. And the manga that they have adapted that came out around 2017, April 26th, 2017, and it ended on October 26th,
Mm-hmm.
2017. So this only has one volume and 7 chapters. They
Oh,
did
so
they
maybe
did they
so that's
adapted
what the
from that
movie
one.
adapted, right?
Yeah, that's what the movie adapted.
I must say no wonder because there's a lot of things I want to know more about.
So the
I would like
original
to know.
Blame, yeah, the
Hmm?
original Blame is 10 volumes and it has 66
Oh,
chapters.
I wonder why they didn't go by that one then because there's a lot of questions in the movie that I didn't really not questions but a lot of things that
That
I
makes you
wanted to know
question.
more about. I wanted to know
Yeah.
more about what's it called? Um just more about
The
the
terminal gene.
history, the terminal genes and other
Yeah.
stuff. Some of the characters I wanted to know more about like Tai.
Yeah,
She
Tai
seemed
is
to
just a
be
supporting
more of like
character. Who
the
cares?
well, I
No,
don't
I
know,
mean,
dude. You
like,
saw what happened.
I saw
Well,
what
they already
happened.
explained what happened. They explained what happened already.
It
I was like,
was
whoa,
sad of what happened. She got fucked up, and then she kind of like stole her identity.
yo, she freaking committed identity theft.
Can I also explain how fucking Terminator it was when she
Yeah,
arrived? When fucking what's her name? The main villain,
Sana.
Sanakan. She
Yeah,
fucking came
well,
out like the fucking Terminator. I was just like,
she
what
just
the
came
fuck?
out of nowhere.
It was so fucking. It was. I
Yeah,
was
she just
laughing.
turned this shit up, and then
When
they
I
were
saw
fighting.
that, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I like when they're fighting though, dude. Like just the way
Fighting
that
was good.
Polygon does there's CG is really good. They the way they apply the effects and the camera movements and the overall way they position their action shots is it's really awesome. I love the way that they kind of go about doing action in the movie. Very
Yeah, I mean,
not too fast paced, but it's just really bombastic and really just crazy. I like it a lot, and
they
I
did
want to
that
see
a lot.
more. I might I
They
might
did
I
that a
might
lot,
be
yeah.
paying attention to Polygon pictures more, like from more now on, like
If
past.
you want, I mean, like there's the Knights of Sidonia series, which is another great take. It is basically it's hard to explain actually because the original Blame series here, you know what? You probably the people that are listening to us now won't see it, but I'm gonna send something to my brother here, and
Well, I mean, you can also just
basically,
explain. You can also just show it, and they could search it up too. That way,
yeah. Well,
you're not just
okay,
sending me
you know what?
something
You're right.
and
There is
nobody sees
a
it.
there is a video on YouTube. His name is Bob Samurai, and he has a video that takes his take about like what is exactly is Blame, and it's a very interesting video. He puts out a like sort of like little tree of what's like a prequel or sequel or alternate version, and I want to dive in deep to this once we're done with
Oh,
this
nice.
episode. And it's very interesting because one of them was Knights of Sidonia. I didn't know this at first, but before I watched Blame, I watched Knights of Sidonia, and I watched the first season, and that was so good. And then in the second season, I didn't get to finish it, but I started it, and I thought it was really interesting. And the thing
That's
is
actually gonna
about
be good
that,
for me to look into more because I want more
yeah,
of this world.
yeah, and really interesting point about this is basically the second season is an adaptation to the original Blame in a way, or so I guess. He explains how there's a certain character that makes a cameo that is from Blaine as well, which is interesting, which I never
Wow,
got
who?
a chance to continue on. I'm not sure. I can't remember the character, but I'm gonna have to rewatch the second season. Or you know what? I'll rewatch the first season and continue on with the second season
Well, for Knights
to
of
get a more
Sidonia.
point. Yeah, of Knights of
Well,
Sidonia.
it'll be my first time watching it, anyways. Because
It is a great series. It's another one of Polygon's works, and really good, really good. The character design is exactly almost like the Blame series as well. You can
yeah,
definitely
I
tell.
just like the way it looks. Like the way they do their CG, man. It's just so cinematic and nice.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Um.
I don't know. I really like
Mhm.
this. I really like this sort of aspect a lot. They're like shows that come along like you're right into this world. You don't know what's going on yet, and you slowly like start to pick up things here and there and start to interpret your own sort of story in a way.
Yeah, and well, I want to speak a little bit on the ending. Is when they talk about Zuru's grandma, like
Oh
and
yeah.
that little girl was or the girl was speaking and saying about Zuru and how that's her grandma or something. So I'm like, well, I
Yeah,
wonder if
where
I
in the
wonder
beginning
if
they
reading
show
any
the
of
granddaughter.
these. Yeah, so I wonder if any of these will kind of help me explain a little more about that. Any of these adaptations or side stories or whatever. I want to know because I want to know more about them. Like, what the hell? So this whole time when she started talking and explained the events, I'm like, damn. So what we were really watching in the movie was just past
Her
things that already
explaining it.
happened. It was
Yeah.
just things that already happened. It seemed. So I was like, wow, okay. So then there's a lot more baggage to uncover, and because of that, I need to watch these or read some of these alternate versions and prequels and stuff like that. I want to know more about the world. And then I'm gonna
You
watch
wanna
Knights of Sidonia too, probably next.
you wanna know something interesting?
What?
Um, in the video that I saw as well, he explained how in one of the mangas, um, Killy actually discovers, you know, human citizens, but
Mm-hmm.
it got to the point where they had no communication. They didn't know how to write. They didn't know how to read. They were just basically cavemans.
Hmm.
And
That's
that's
weird
like
though.
when I heard that, and I was like, that is interesting. To the point where so many years has passed, and you slowly just forgot how to do everything. That is
Yeah,
quite
well, remember
insane.
this was let me pull it up here. I was actually looking at it. Net terminal gene. Something about the net terminal gene. So the story before the manga opens is hundreds of thousands of years before that's how every human when the like to the point where when you read the first page of the manga, the last time there was humans in the city was hundreds of thousands of years ago.
Oh,
So
it's
like
10,000. Wait, it's more than that?
well, I'm looking at the net terminal gene on here, and it says what's the relevance of net terminal genes in the story, and it says hundreds of thousands of years before the manga opens, every human in the city carried a net terminal gene.
Mm.
So wait, I don't know. Then that might be talking about the net terminal gene, not necessarily the existence of humans. But so I think they talked about it in the movie of when they were gone or when they went away. But it's definitely in the thousands for sure. Thousands and thousands of times. So, obviously any human that would be over there would be basically, yeah, caveman, like, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. Um, if I wanna go ahead and read the manga, I might as well just start with where the anime adaptation did, which is the newest one that
What, the
they
Blame movie?
yeah. I wanna check that
The
out.
most recent one, the
Yeah,
2017?
yeah,
Right.
yeah. And then I also wanna get to the old ones. But it's very interesting that in Knights of Sidonia, which of course is the same, I believe is the same author. Um yeah, Nihei. Um it's very
Mhm.
interesting because I really want to get back into Knights of Sidonia. Knights of Sidonia was really, really, really good. Really good. The character
I'm gonna be
design
watching it. I'll probably
on
watch it
point.
next. I'll
Yeah,
probably watch it next.
it's a really good series,
I'm
honestly.
always fascinated by all these types of shows that all these franchises that have a lot of these branching storylines is always somewhat interesting because you looking at Blame here, there's the prequels, there's the sequels, then there's the adaptation ones, and then there's alternate versions. It's like the universe, it's very expanded, and I like that, especially when it's science fiction. So that's like one of my favorite things about Blame here.
Oh, yo.
Looking at
Oh my
it,
god. Okay, I gotta stop watching this.
why, why
um
you got
I
spoiled?
just realized that no, it's just
Oh,
I just want to stop it right
You went robot on me. You went
Oh,
robot. What are you
am I robot
doing?
now? Am I robot now?
No, no, no. What was that? What?
No,
What was
I was
that?
trying to I was trying to,
It
like,
sounds so
act
weird
all
on my end. It
No, but,
sounds.
basically,
Oh my
shut up.
gosh.
Basically, I was just looking at, what else Macedonia had, and apparently they're having a movie that is coming out on 2021. So, I'm pretty excited about that. It's gonna be done by the same
Oh,
people
they
who did,
do? Dang.
Blame. Yeah, they're gonna have a movie in
Well,
2021.
at least at least that means that the universe is still expanding and they're adapting stuff. Because there's other shows that I'm pretty much never gonna know what happens. So it's nice to know that there's some that are still continuing on.
Question, did they
Hmm?
explain something about the Ghana nest
What?
in Blame?
The Ghana?
I
Hmm?
feel like they explained something
In the
because
movie?
yeah.
What is it though?
No, it's something that is eventually explained in okay, of course not. Okay. Sure. No, it's something that's in Knights of Sidonia, which I thought they had explained it in Blame. I think they did. I believe they did. I believe they did, but I'm not sure. They didn't really go too in depth about it. But it's very interesting of the Nest Ghana in the Knights of Sidonia series because
Oh, okay, so see that I don't know then, because I gotta watch Knights of Sidonia. So I mean, I'll get back to you about that.
like I said,
Knights of Sidonia looks good
Nessa
though.
Sidonia and Blame, Nessa Sidonia and Blame are very, very similar. And if you liked the Blame movie, then you will definitely like the Nessa Sidonia series. It's by the same author who made Blame, and they have a compelling story. I like every one of them have a compelling story, and Nessa Sidonia is really a really good watch. I finished the first season, and once I finished it, I wanted more. And then they released a second season, and I continued. I watched it, and then I stopped. I don't know why. I can't remember why I stopped it, but I am
A
planning
long
on
time
going
ago
back.
too, right? Wasn't that like in high school?
Yes, the second season came out like around 2015, which was like a
Mhm.
while ago. That was back when I was in high school, I believe. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, the
And
2014 was when Nice Sidonia came out, so that would
yeah,
be, yeah, somewhat like around there.
and honestly, yeah, this movie was a fantastic adaptation. One thing I noticed is that I started looking at images from the manga series and from the anime movie. There were some things where I felt like they could have done a little bit more of. So
What?
one thing is basically the machines that you see in the movie. Um, they looked really good, but when you compare it when
Ah,
you compare
mhm.
it to the manga series, you look at the machines in the manga series, they are even more grotesque.
Oh, yeah, well, that kinda usually
Like,
happens in certain adaptations. I wonder why though, because it's on Netflix, so it's not like they have to necessarily worry about broadcast censorship, so I'm not sure why they did that.
I don't know, but either way, it was still a good watch. I liked it. Um,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna
I
send you the picture of what I was looking at because it is quite interesting to know that. Um, very strange, but still a good movie, a good movie. You want to get
yeah,
started into
it was really
watching
good.
that? I suggest
I
watching the
mean,
movie.
for me, it was a nice entry into the franchise at least, because I guess you remembering now, knowing Madonia, I guess you kind of already got delved into the franchise. I mean, this is my first time, I because I never saw Knights of Sidonia, so I'll definitely watch that next, because I would like to know more about this world, especially with the humans and stuff, and what the hell happened. More, I know what happened, but more into it,
Yeah.
um, and stuff about the city and all that. Like, I need to know more, because I think in the movie, even though it was almost 2 hours, it's like they could have probably said more.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff they could have put into Blame. All these like images, if you go, I mean, even for the people listening, just looking up some of the images of some of the manga panels, yeah, like there's a lot more that needs to be said or needs to be shown in
Oh, and
animated format for sure.
and honestly, this sort of series are very
Hmm.
underrated. There are some fans out there, who really like the series, who really like the
Well,
manga
yeah, well, that is
adaptations and all
true.
that.
Although I will say that the thing with Blame is that Blame doesn't really have too much of a vocal following. And
Yeah,
and and
it's
and
not
that
they don't
shows
have a
because
vocal following.
I heard, because I was deep into anime, like middle school, somewhat early high school, and even towards the end,
Mhm.
and I never heard much about Blame until I saw that first trailer, and then that's when I
Yeah.
started seeing people, like, talking about it, but before that, I didn't hear anything. Even Knights of Sidonia, I didn't really hear too much about it until you told me, so it's like, man, there's not that much of a vocal the whatever following there is, they're not really vocal about it, and I think that will change if they actually adapt more and market it and make it bigger.
I think
I mean, look at
I
they
think
put it
it,
on Netflix, and that really put it out
part of
there.
part of it part of it is that they probably will change, and the other part of it is that they don't wanna get the amount of what's the word? I'm trying to find
Mhm.
the word.
Hmm.
Publicity? I'm trying to
What?
find the other word for it. They don't want it to get acknowledged as much because they maybe is that they're afraid that it might get like, you know
Mhm.
something might happen in an adaptation and they might screw up because of how popular it is. But I could be wrong.
Oh, like fan backlash?
Yeah, like,
I don't think so, because I mean, I think from what I've seen some people say, it's been pretty faithful so far. So they should just keep doing what they're doing, and market it more, because I want to see more of it and stuff.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry. Um I'm also looking that it was serialized by a company called Afternoon. And there's some really good series here that aren't from Blame. Like Hoseki no Kuni is on here, and I didn't know that.
Wait,
They
what?
got
What's serialized?
Mushiki's on there. Like,
Like
I'm
the
guessing it's the
source
the
material, like the
manga company.
mangas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Vinland Saga is on there. Mushishi's on there.
A lot of shit.
Some really good ones. Oh, Naza no Kanojo X. You know that one? Don't sleep on me.
Sorry, I'm not sleeping. I'm just kind of hungry. But yeah, I know I've heard of that one.
So yeah, this series or the manga series has some really mature and deep stories that I want to get into. There's a lot that are in here that I've been meaning to watch for not watch but read for a while. Damn. All right, well, I better keep this in my mind so that I have a bunch of mangas to buy. Especially Blame. I love how the art is in Blame. Although there are some points where it just feels like meh. It's interesting because I kind of like the art style that they did for Zuru more in the anime than in the manga. It's very strange for me
Oh,
to see
let me
Zuru in her style like that.
in the manga.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, let me see how
It's
she
very
looks like in
strange
manga.
because it's like I just love how she looks in the anime a lot more with her hairstyle like that and everything, and she's a really
Yeah,
good character overall.
yeah. Well, she has like a certain edge to her on. Is that her? Really? Damn, she looks like not even like the same type of character. She looks completely
That's what I'm
different.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Killy is like is
Maybe it's just
almost
that
the same.
specific panel. It is all
Killy
the same.
almost the same. Oh, interesting. Um, her first appearance in the manga is log 14, and her last appearance is log 34.
Oh, really?
And then when I look at Keely, his ends at log 65. So I'm thinking like there's more that after of what happens to Zuru that we don't know yet, and I'm even more curious.
Do you send me the manga, and I'll look at it.
Where?
Send it to me on Discord, like, like DM, like private.
Oh, like the manga website or the because I'm on the Blame fandom
Well,
wiki.
see if you can find the specific Blame manga and just send it to me.
Oh yeah, of course. Because it's really good, honestly.
She looks so
Um,
derpy. The fuck, man. I gotta. I have to see more of her because these could just be a couple bad shots for all I know.
listen, listen. What I can say for sure, um, oh wow, Zuda's actually is in the original manga series as well.
What noise?
No, not Noise. Noise is no, of course she's not gonna be in there. That's where it all started.
Wait, so what are you talking about then?
The original Blame manga,
Oh,
the one that has 66 chapters. Interesting, honestly. Um, can't find. Bless you.
oh, thank you. Shit. All right.
So let me search up the actual Blame manga for you. But honestly, it's I would really recommend to buy the hardcover. I'm a man that wants the hardcover books.
Well, yeah, I have the hardcover
I've been
of Alita.
sometimes when I read mangas online, I feel like sad because I was like, "Oh, man, this would have been much better if I had it on my hand." Is basically what I did to the ReZero series. I purchased the recent light novels because I really want to read it on my hand.
Mhm.
But this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about Blame.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that I feel like now is just like
I've been
with
so into Cyberpunk,
when it comes to
science
mangas and all
fiction.
that, it's just slowly been more digitally and not physically.
Mm. Yeah, but
But
it's kind of the same.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. Do I recommend?
Yeah. Yeah, Blame. I think overall, people who want to dip their toes into the Blame universe, they should definitely check out the movie, which is on Netflix. Um, it's an hour and 45 minutes long, and it does a lot that really well. And I personally don't have a frame of reference because I've never seen the manga, but I think anybody who at least wants to try and get into the universe should definitely watch the movie. And from there on, just evaluate whether you want to get into the manga more, because there will be questions raised, I think, for when you watch the movie, because I definitely have some more about the world and some of the characters that are in it. So I think people wanted to get into this should just watch the movie, and get that movie out of the way, and then whatever questions you have, just dive right into the Blame manga, which is exactly what I'm gonna do.
Definitely, definitely.
What do you say, Joe?
What I recommend?
Yes.
I would say recommend watching the movie. And if you're really interested in the whole series and the whole like just lore in general of Keely and everything around him, then definitely get to the manga. But the thing is that the manga is there's always, from what I'm seeing, it's like there's less talking. There's less talking and only you to interpret of what actually goes around. And that's the thing that I really like, is that they show you these scenes in the manga, and it's your choice to figure out what's actually going on, And I kind of like that a lot about a series like
Hmm.
that. Leaves you to a, I don't want to say open ended because I hate open ended stuff, but it leaves you
Yeah.
to interpret many things, and I like that a lot.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all it is, really. Um, I think this episode's been pretty relatively quick. I mean, you never know. It might be an hour by the time I start editing this, but yeah,
I mean,
because
I don't know.
that's what was with the episode I did with Jerry. It was like
You know,
an hour long.
sometimes it's like when you're doing an episode, you're talking way too much because you're talking about a series that we like a lot. So things seem to go by quickly, but I don't know,
No, I know.
I'm not sure how long this episode is going to be. But
Well, I'll let you know when I put everything together.
hey, another thing is, if you liked Blame, then I also would recommend watching Knights of Sidonia. It's another
Yeah,
alternative version
that's another way.
take
Yeah,
of
because it's just an alternate version. Yeah, so you could also watch that too.
yeah. Well, no, sorry. Well, yeah,
Or
no, it's not an alternate version, but in the second season, apparently Blame gets a little bit of an adaptation to the second season itself.
mm.
Because
I'd say just watch
character
Blame movie.
watch the
Watch the
Blame
Bla-
movie. If you like that, watch Nice as Zenonia, because Nice as Zenonia is another is the same sort of vibe, and I think it's really good. And plus, it's not even a movie. You could just clearly just watch it. Season 1 has like 13 episodes, I believe. And then like season 2 also has 13 episodes. There you go. Quick. You got a whole episodes to watch, and that's a really good series. And the movie is also coming out in 2021, which I've just noticed now, and I'm actually quite excited about that. So
Mhm.
that's pretty much it. I mean, and
Mhm.
if you finish Nice Season on you 2, then read the original manga series. But bear warning, there will be some moments where it's like amazingly drawn and also not good drawn, not amazingly drawn. It looked really rough, but I think
Yeah,
the whole point of it is
that
that it's
happens.
very gritty. It's very gritty.
Yeah,
Then
so
then you can read the prequel to Noise, or you can go ahead and go to the oh shoot, actually no, you can't. If I mean,
just
I would basically ignore the old Blame shorts or OVAs. They were, from
guys.
what I've heard, badly done.
All right, I'm trying to end this. Damn it! You
Sorry.
just keep on. Shut up. All right, this is So in short, just watch the Blade movie, and then
Yeah.
if you like that, then watch Knights of Sidonia, and then from there, then you could just get into the universe, watching the manga. I mean, reading the manga. So yeah, that's pretty much
Watch
it.
it. Who knows?
This for this episode of A Dose of Animation. I hope
Woo!
that you could take something away from it. You and your fanfare, you just clapping and making all this noise. Um,
It's a hyping up.
you're like the one audience that's sitting in the chair when it's like nobody there.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been
Um,
good. It's been good. And we're gonna be
what would
talking
you
about
rate the
more
movie?
stuff.
Before we end it,
I'd
what would you rate the movie?
I'd rate it I
From
rate
1
it
smackaroo to 10 smackaroos.
from 1 smackaroos to 10. I'd say
Yeah.
7. 7 flat. 7 smackaroos.
I say
What about you?
7.02.
Wow. So it's so like that's so specific.
No, I give it a
Alright.
7.5. It
Alright.
was pretty solid.
Alright, well, that's pretty much it for this episode. So thanks for
Yeah.
hanging with us and just chilling and laughing. And I'm gonna definitely talk about this series more in the future. And um next episode, either I'm gonna have either someone on or just me by myself. But it's gonna be more of a broader topic. So I'm gonna be talking about that more in the coming weeks. So I hope you look out for that as well. But yep, time for us to leave.